Season 1, Episode 11. Turn it back around on this episode, I feel.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Won you back over?
Yeah. Last episode, the previous episode, not super excited about. This one, I enjoyed a lot more. I still don't like Diamondback as the villain a whole bunch. And I still don't see how he became the head of this, like, criminal organization, unless maybe they're going to play it that he's gone crazy because now he's dealing with the Luke Cage stuff again. And so maybe that's, like, brought up stuff. I don't know. But I don't know how how he operates, how he got to where he's at in terms of kind of control of all this stuff.
Yeah, there's still some stuff that's kind of hard to buy into completely. I think they gave us a little bit of an out in this one. Early on, Diamondback and Shades are talking, and it seems like they're about to get real, and, you know, Diamondback says something like, you know who you're talking to, and Shades says, do you know who you're talking to? So maybe Shades is, Shades was with helping Cottonmouth, and we assumed a minion of Diamondback. Maybe it's even deeper than that. Maybe Shades is a minion of someone bigger than Diamondback. So it's interesting because now at the end of this, Shades is in custody.
Mm-hmm.
Curious to see if they'll do anything with that. If he drops a dime on Diamondback or gets bailed out by some other bigger fish. I'm not sure, but that would make things more plausible to me.
Yes.
Because Diamondback just seems like a psycho.
Right, he seems like a psycho. It seems like everything he's doing is all regarding, getting Luke Cage back for daddy issues that he has. But it seemed like that would be only what's driving him right now. So I'm wondering how he got to where, because he doesn't seem to have any men. It seemed like maybe he's just a gun runner. Like, I don't know, maybe he's not as big of a guy as I'm thinking, and he just, because he's crazy and this situation came up, he's stepping in to do stuff because he doesn't have any men. It's all Cottonmouth's men that are running around doing everything. The only other man of his that he's had has been Shades, supposedly. So, and he does everything himself, which makes you think he's a lone wolf, which means he's not the head of a criminal organization like it seemed they were implying before. Maybe he just had guns.
Well, but there was that scene in episode 10, right, where he's in some place where they're packing up his bullets and he's talking about mass production. So, I mean, it feels like they're kind of half-heartedly making him out to be this more organized dude. I don't know. That's probably it. They're just not fleshing him out in the right ways. They're just psycho, revenge, daddy issues. Just imagine all that other stuff in the background.
Right. And then that's one of the things that's important, right? Is that it's the things being real for the story they're in, right? Mm-hmm. Like Luke Cage's powers are unreal, but in his setting and in his world, they make sense. Mm-hmm. Dimeback doesn't make sense in this world and function the way that everyone else has so far filled in all the other Netflix series. He seems very out of place unless there's something else going on they're going to reveal.
Right.
But that's been my problem with him. So, like, they built him up as being this kingpin type guy. I think if he would have been, like, even if he still had all the obsession over Luke Cage, if he had like an organization or a paramilitary group that he was like running or something that made it seem like he had power outside of being, I'm a crazy guy who's willing to shoot you in the face. Well, they're all evil people willing to shoot each other in the face. So that's not really, like, how did that get him on top type of thing. But how did you feel about the night nurse stuff of her, like, stepping up and knocking out guys and fighting people?
That was cool. One thing I'll say for the show is you got two very strong female characters who are, I don't want to call them supporting cast, but, it's Luke Cage and then everybody else. Mm-hmm. So they're like the next tier down, and they're very strong female leads. And I like them both. I think they're both cool. It's just kind of funny how she continually, they foreshadowed this in a way because there was a scene in her first episode she appeared in where she chases down the like purse snatcher guy.
Yeah.
You know, so you're all right. She's tough, and then she just keeps being tough, which is awesome. And I think it's cool that her and Missy Knight are both they're kind of going to be like Luke Cage's defenders and advocates, you know, because no one else is going to believe Luke Cage at all. You know, Diamondback, as crazy as has successfully set this up to make Luke Cage look really bad. So, you know, it's nice to feel like, okay, well, someone knows what's going on. You know, not everyone's clueless, because there's a lot of clueless people on the show. I feel like I think we've both reacted several times to nobody saw that, or nobody's what you know. So, you know, I think they ask us to just let that slide a lot in this show.
Yeah, like the whole hostage situation, like from the very beginning, as soon as those first people came out, I'm like, aren't they just going to be like, yeah, a bunch of thugs
with
guns, bad guys, like are holding us hostage? Where's Luke Cage? They were shooting at him. He ran away. So it's like, I mean, all they have to do is say, and they kind of even implied they said that,
mm-hmm.
and they're still like, but Luke Cage is in there. We got to get him.
Yeah.
And I understand that, like, on one level, you're like, well, but he's like a superhero that's gone rogue, and we have video of him, and we think he's been killing people, so they're scared of him. But shouldn't they also acknowledge the fact that there's a bunch of people in there who are actually holding people hostage? So, like, I feel like Luke Cage is in trouble, even if they clear, which I feel like they're going to clear him for the hostage situation anyways, because he like freed the hostages there at the end and everything. So I think that's going to get cleared, but he's still technically a fugitive.
Yeah,
and he still did beat up cops on camera.
Right.
So I mean, he's still is like he's not out of. It's not like even if they exonerate him, and go like, you know what, we realize you didn't do all this stuff. He's still in trouble. If
nothing else, he's, you know, if it was a real world, he'd be mired in the legal system for a very long time. Mm-hmm. Of course, they're not gonna.
It's gonna be like 2 days, and
that'll be boring. So they're not gonna do that. Now, Diamondback's got away. What do you think? Is he gonna come back? Is he gonna do like a Terminator and like come into the police station and try to kill Luke Cage? Because his plan to have the SWAT team kill Luke Cage didn't happen.
I'm wondering if he's gonna make like a whole suit or something out of that punch glove thing, which still is ridiculous. And he just walked out the back of the building.
And got in a big
SUV, and none of the police noticed. Like, they didn't have the back door like covered. I'm pretty sure they would have. It's that, like, I just feel like Diamondback is the thing I can't believe, like, follow and believe. He's this thread that's trying to tie everything together, and it's the normally in these things I feel like, oh, there's some campiness, but like I like the through line, and this one I feel like the through line, which is Diamondback, is weird and busted, and I like everything else around it.
It's, I guess, kind of the weakest. I think what we're seeing is it's probably the weakest villain in one of these Marvel Netflix shows. Like, weak in believability and sustainability. He really feels more like a short-term villain kind of guy, but they try to do this big frame job machinations and political stuff with him, and he's not the kind of guy that's believable with.
Right, and he's not even the one doing it. Like, he's just like threatening other people to. Yeah, I'm guessing that he's not as big. Like, I think part of the problem that I'm having is maybe I'm putting him as too high of a level, like a crime boss, and I'm starting to think more as we're talking about that. Yeah, he's like a gun runner guy who has tech that can shoot Luke Cage, and he's muscled in. I mean, because he doesn't appear to have a lot of support people and muscle. I feel like he's just a lone guy that's sideways himself into all this stuff. So maybe looking at that, I'll be happier with how he's functioning. That he is just like a like you said, like an evil Punisher type guy, just coming in. But they played him off at the beginning as being like this kingpin guy. So yeah, I don't know.
So if in the final 2 episodes coming up, we reveal that something along the lines of Shades is the minion of an even higher tier criminal,
like the Hand or something.
Something like that, and Diamondback was a pawn. Does that make everything that's gone on with Diamondback more palatable, or do you think they still didn't handle it?
I think from a story overall, it makes it more palatable, because I don't see how he functions. At least then it seems like, oh, okay, they took this guy and let him come in, but it doesn't fix the problems I'm having with it. I mean, even if they explain everything perfectly and it all makes sense at the end of it, I've still had like 4 episodes where I've been going, "What's going on? This doesn't make." And like the last episode, which I thought was really weird, it doesn't fix those retroactively, even if they like give you some nugget. Like there's a difference, I think, between a show keeping stuff shrouded in secrecy and you're trying to figure it out, and then finally there's a big reveal and it makes everything behind it make sense, as opposed to this is weird and busted and I don't like how this is working, and then going, MacGuffin, and then it fixing it. I don't think that's going to work. I'm still enjoying the show, and like I said, I like this episode. Yeah. It's just something about. I think it's also the contrast between Cottonmouth and Diamondback of how, like, Cottonmouth was a better villain because he was like the bad guy that thinks he was a good guy, and whereas Diamondback just come across as, Daddy didn't love me enough, and that's like a horrible like reason to be a super villain. Yeah. Horrible. I mean, like maybe on a real level, it makes sense, but on like a superhero story thing, like that's even if it's comic book accurate, which I don't know anything about that, but it's still just it just doesn't. It feels very whiny.
Yeah, I mean, one of those go-to superhero origin cliches is a superhero's arch nemesis somehow is created at the same time as them, or their creation. They mirror each other somehow, which is fine, but make it a little more interesting.
And I think it's also because I feel like it came in at the 11th hour. Like I feel like they built up Diamondback as being this guy, and then he shows up, and they're like, well, actually, he's just a whiny guy that Luke Cage's half brother that's pissed off that his dad never loved him. And it's like, that's not what I was promised for the first 6 episodes, where he was this figure that, if you say anything, if you ask for a favor, he's going to take over your whole organization. Well, he might come in and shoot you, but how does he actually do that? Like, so it's just, I feel like they set up an expectation maybe, and he's not meeting it.
Right. So I'm going to talk about a couple little minor things that caught my eye, made me chuckle. One was Luke Cage got to beat up some thugs. And how do these thugs not know who Luke Cage is anymore and not know what he's capable of? I mean, one guy is like popping his neck and trying to be all tough and trying to do kung fu type stuff. And it's like, how do they not know who Luke Cage is? Are they really more afraid of Diamondback than Luke Cage? I don't buy that very much.
No, I don't. It was only like 3 guys, though. Yeah. So, maybe they're...
The 3 stupidest?
What I thought is there was almost an old, like, black and white Superman, like the old stuff where, like, the guys would shoot bullets at him, and they bounce off, and they throw the gun, and he'd dodge it. Yeah. And, like, there's a little bit of that where, like, Luke Cage is just slapping everybody. And one of the guys does, like, a kick, and you see Luke Cage, like, go, like dodge it real quick. And I'm like, I almost felt like the way he's done everything else, you think he'd just stand there and the guy would break his foot on him type of a thing. So there's a little bit of that hilariousness to me that almost harken back to that old school Superman thing of the actor can pretend to take bullets, but they can't pretend to take a punch to the face type of a thing.
All right, and the one other thing was the what you're talking about Willis line. I picture that being one that when they wrote the screenplay looked way better on paper than how it looked when they filmed it. Like, it didn't work. It didn't fit. It wasn't really that funny. I chuckled, but I chuckled because it was dumb. And I think the actor, I should really find out his name, who plays Shades is good. I like Shades. I like how he's doing it. But that felt like weird and out of place and forced all right there, And it almost felt like it was just so Diamondback could then say, what are you doing saying my name out loud, And it probably sounded way better or in your head reading it on paper than it did when it was delivered and filmed. So I was just like,
See, music, because it almost felt to me like one of those things, how sometimes you think of a joke and you kind of pocket it and you're just waiting to use it?
I'm holding on to this one.
That's kind of what it felt like. Like Shades and like, oh my God, what are you talking about, Willis? It's going to be so hilarious someday. And then finally he's just like, this is my moment, I'm going to do it. And then, because you can even see like after he said that, Diamondback was kind of like, really? Yeah, and he was even kind of like, that didn't quite work right. So it's almost like they acknowledge it in the show.
Yeah, kind of look at it, yeah.
But, all right, so I think as you can tell, we're way more enjoying, I think, this episode.
Yeah.
Even the goofiness. There's still a little bit of weird Diamondbackness going on, but I feel like it's back again. So one offbeat episode out of 13. Still liking it so far, right?
Oh yeah, no, I'm still totally enjoying it. Now that you got Diamondback on the run and Luke Cage going to jail, or at least interrogation, that's kind of a flat area, and they've got 2 episodes left, so I feel like they're going to drop the hammer. Like, either Diamondback's going to go extra crazy, or there's going to be a Deus Ex Machina, something random happens, because otherwise he's in the legal system and Diamondback's on the run. I don't know where else that would go.
The next 2 episodes are just them processing Luke Cage.
Yeah.
That'd be hilarious.
Name. Yeah, but I'm looking forward to it. Having fun.
All right. Well, guys, that's our review for episode 11.
Yep.
And thanks for watching.
Thank you, guys.